Good morning, Julie here. A little bit of chair yoga with you today. Thank you for joining me through Gilda's Club of Rochester. Again, my name is Julie, and this is a chair yoga class today. Chair yoga is accessible for everyone and can be as challenging or as basic and gentle as you'd like it to be. So work at your own pace. Please don't do anything that hurts or feels very uncomfortable. Anything that your healthcare professionals, your physicians, your physical therapists, whoever you're working with have told you not to do, please don't do any of those type of movements. Stay within your comfort zone here so that you can move. You're feeling froggy, you can do a little bit more, you can do a little bit less. Okay, just honor the body and listen. So in order to start that way, to honor our body, be able to listen to our body, we start with a little bit of breathing, meditative type breathing. So I'm sitting in a chair. This chair has no arms. That would be your best option, would be to have a chair with no arms. But if that's all you've got, then you do the best that you can with what you've got. Because I want my feet flat on the floor, I'm sitting about halfway to the seat of this chair. If I were to sit all the way to the back of this chair, my heels would lift a little bit. That's not going to give me the stability that I need to sit up straight. So feet on the floor, about hips width apart, feet parallel, outer edges of the feet are parallel. Can you do a chair yoga class with shoes on? Yes, you can. I have two mats crossways because I'm going to turn my chair side in order to show you some of the sun salutations we're doing today. So you definitely need to have your chair on a surface where it won't slide, okay? Whether that be a rug or a yoga mat or whatever it is that you might have around the house, okay? So for just simple sitting, like to line the ankles up underneath the knee joints. That's a great place for them to be. You can feel really solid from, the knee through the lower part of the leg into the heel. You can roll the shoulders back a few times. If you like, place your fingertips on the shoulder joints, the top of the shoulder joints, and think about moving them back so that, or maybe even leaning back the whole spine so that the shoulders are more in line with your hips. You can look down and kind of check that out. That's going to help your spine stay a little bit longer. Reach up through the tops of the ears so the chin stays parallel but the neck feels long. Relax the hands on the thighs. You can close your eyes for a few minutes of breath, or you can keep them open, slightly open, looking at a spot on the floor in front of you 4 or 6 feet, okay? Just take some easy breaths. You don't have to breathe any special way. You take a few sighs. And then just let the natural breathing come on in. Just kind of focus on where it's moving and where you feel it. Feel the body sitting in the chair, the parts of the body pressing against the chair or the floor, length of the spine, and then just feel the body breathing. Focus gently on any parts of your body where you feel sensation during your in-breath and out-breath. We want to let go of any type of judgment. Judgment about whether we're doing something right or it could be better, or making commentary about what we're doing or how we're feeling. Just sit here with our breath. Kind of step back a little bit and be a witness to what's happening in your body without the judgment or commentary. Maybe you notice the breath at the belly. Every inhalation, the belly softens forward. With each exhalation, the belly draws in gently. Maybe you feel the breath at the nostrils. As the air rushes in and flows back out. It's possible you feel the breath across the expanse of your chest. It's almost as if you can feel the right and left sides of your ribs, the rib cage on the right and left side, widen out side to side with each inhale, and come back down towards each other with each exhale. Noticing gently what parts of the body open and close during the different parts of the breath. Again, not to judge or make commentary or scrutinize. Just to witness it. A little bit of curiosity. Gentle focus. And if you're distracted by something, a sound or a thought, that's okay. Just note that. Yep, thinking. Or yeah, that was the door closing. And come on back to your breathing. Take a moment now to visualize a support person in your life. Someone who's been there for you. Someone who cares for you. Someone who's shown caring for you. Doesn't matter who it is. How close to they are, whether they're family or not, doesn't matter. But imagine that caring support person sitting across from you. Look into their eyes. See their smile. Feel their support. If you want, you can think about other support people in your life, sitting to the right or to the left in front of you, or sitting behind you over your shoulder. See them smiling, feel their caring and support. And you can gently open your eyes, and you can bring that feeling of caring and support with you. You can place your hands here across the top of the chest or at heart center at the top of the chest. Take a few more breaths. The sense of gratitude, thankfulness for those in our lives, those that we've counted on, those that care for us, our support systems. And say an inward namaste and honor those people. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, release your hands. That can be very powerful, okay? But it's a great way to remind you during rough times about those people that are there for you and have been there for you. It's a great meditation to bring back in whenever you're feeling a little low or need to be, beefed up a little bit. Okay, so it's a great thing that you can do. So let's do a little bit of yoga. Again, feet flat on the floor. So that may mean that your back end is halfway through the seat or towards the end of the seat. Let's roll the shoulders back, lift up through the tops of the ears so you can feel your sit bones in the chair, lift up through the crown of the head. If you want to take the flesh of your back end and kind of widen it back out behind you a little bit so that you can feel the natural curve in your lower back as opposed to tucking your tailbone under. Okay? Let's start using our arms. Inhale, palms up. And exhale, down, hands to heart center. Inhaling up. And every time those hands come down across heart center, it's maybe a meaningful thing for you. Inhale up. And exhale. And inhale up. You can go at your own pace. And exhale. And maybe one more time. Inhale up. And exhale. Place the hands on the thighs. Let's inhale, rolling the shoulders up, back and down as you exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale up. Exhale, back and down. Let's try that one more time. Inhale up. Exhale, back and down. Let's bring the arms out to the sides into the goalpost position. Inhale here. Exhale, cross across the chest. Inhale, open up. Exhale, cross the other arm. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross. Inhale, open. Again, go with the pace of your own breath, which may be slower or faster than the pace at which I am breathing, but move with the breath. We listen to our body, what it tells us. Maybe you have a little bursitis or you have some soreness in your body. We're going to honor that today with our movements and our breathing. Let's open the arms up now to cactus or goalpost position. And as you exhale, gently bring the hands down and maybe hold on to the back of the seat of the chair or the back of the chair, the ladder back of the chair. And sit up nice and tall. Feel the front of the shoulder joints widen apart from each other, so feel wideness in that front of your shoulder joints across the collarbone. Some folks can bring their hands together behind them in this stretch, and you're more than welcome to do that, or you can hold on to the chair, whichever is most comfortable for you. Notice the curves of your spine. Notice there's a beautiful curve in the lower back. Raise this up through the mid-back, curves out, curves back in at the neck. Just a few more breaths, or you can come out of this if it's too much for you. And release. Great job. Let's do a little bit more work with our arms. So remember, if it's challenging for you to bring your hands overhead, then only go as far as it's doable for you today. Okay, we're just going to give ourselves a little bit more openness through the shoulder joints and through the front of the chest. So we're going to take these hands, and you can place the palm of one hand against the top or back of the other hand and press the palms up towards the ceiling. Some folks can interlace their fingers and press the palms up. It depends on what works for you. It's okay if the elbows don't completely straighten. We just don't want to squeeze the shoulders up near the ears like that. We want to keep some space there. Just press. Nice, very good. Inhale here. Exhale, fingertips behind the ears, widen the elbows without pressing the jaw forward. Okay? Inhale up. And exhale, widen those elbows, moving the back of the head back towards the fingertips. And again, inhale up. And exhale. Inhale up now, palms towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, bring the palms in and press the back of the hands out away from you. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, palms turn in, stretch the arms away from you. And a few more times. Inhale. And exhale, palms facing you. And one more inhale. And exhale. And release. Notice how your shoulders feel. Notice how your body feels. Keep mindful of how you're sitting. Because very often we start moving our arms, we'll start to tuck our tailbone underneath us. We'll lose some of our good posture down in the lower half of our body. So make sure that you're sitting nice and tall. Feel the sit bones. If you had a tail attached to your tailbone, it would be curling up off the back of the chair. So you want a little bit of that curve in that lower spine. Let's continue on with some twists. You don't have to bring your arms up overhead before a twist. That's up to you. You can just bring the hands out, inhale, and exhale, twist. Place the left hand on the right thigh, turning. You're going to feel your hips move a little bit here. So if you're turning to the right, that left hip is going to move slightly forward, and that's exactly correct. That's what your body is meant to do. Keep tall through the top of the ears. It does not matter how far you twist, or if you hold on to the back of the chair when you do. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. If you're turning to the left, the right hand comes over to the left thigh. Stay up nice and tall when you twist, and if you are twisting to the left, let that right hip come slightly forward than the left. And we're going to go back and forth with these. You can keep the hands low, or you can bring the hands up overhead in between. Inhale and exhale. You can use the back of the chair, but you don't have to. Don't use this hand on your knee to buckle the knee in or to push, okay? We just want to hold the hand nice and gentle, just a touch point. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. And you're going to feel the knees move forward. One knee's going to move forward. If you're twisting to the right, the left knee's going to move slightly forward, and that's correct. Inhale up. Exhale. Because your lower back only has about 12 degrees of rotation. So the pelvis has to go with the lower back when you do a twist. Not a lot of twist going on in that lower back, okay? Most of the twist happens up near your shoulder blades. Can you feel that? Inhale up. Exhale. Think of your shoulder blades, the big bony plates on the back of your body. Inhaling up. If you're exhale and turning to the left, then the right shoulder blade is pressing towards the left, and the left shoulder blade is pressing back behind you. So feel as if the movement for the twist is coming from the back of the shoulder blades, from the upper back. Each exhalation draws the belly in to support a nice tall spine during twisting. And maybe one more. center. Awesomely awesome. I'd like to do some cat-cow stretches here before we stand up and do our sun salutations, okay? So for cat-cow stretches, you're going to need a wider position for your feet. Knees and toes turn out about the same direction. We want to keep, you know, the ankles underneath the knee joints. We're just going to widen out so that we have more movement here. So if I turn my chair sideways, then I can show you what I mean by that. More movement. Okay. So wide position. So there's my spine. So in doing cow pose, I'm going to drop my belly down towards the seat of the chair, towards the floor in front of me. So I'm going to tilt my pelvis. This is going to arch, right, the lower back. I'm going to roll my shoulders back. So it's as if I'm letting my belly hang way out. I've got this big Santa belly and it's dropping down between my thighs. And then cat pose, we pull the belly button in. So now we tuck the tailbone. So we're rounding that lower part of the back, rounding the upper shoulders. Notice I don't talk about the head. Let the head follow. Once again, inhale, tilt the pelvis, drop your pubic bone down, let the belly hang low, arching the back, getting some strength in the muscles along your spine and the back of your body. And then on the next inhale or exhale, draw the whole front of your waist in like you're painting it into the curve of your spine behind you. And do this a few more times. And for you, this might be very small. It may be just a little bit of a tuck and a tilt. And maybe that's just fine for you, just a little bit. Doesn't have to be very big, okay? You're rounding, and then you're arching. Gorgeous. And the head just follows, so we don't lead with the head. We don't drop it back or drop it forward. It kind of follows whatever happens, because whatever you do at the lower part of your spine, it works all the way up to the neck, okay? It's a kinetic chain. So when you tuck, you'll notice your head will slightly come down. When you tilt, you'll notice your chin will slightly come up. So this happens naturally, and it's kind of fun to notice that. The curve in your neck, your cervical spine, right, the cervical curvature and the lower back curve are connected. They're secondary curves. We didn't have them when we were born. We developed them as babies when we started to lift our heads. We developed our cervical curve, and then when we started to move, right, walk, crawl, then we began to develop our lumbar curve, our lower back curve. So pretty cool stuff. And back to the center position. Great job. So this leads us into working on our sun salutation. So I'd like you to stand up, okay? Again, I have my chair sideways so you can see. I want you to have the chair on a surface where it is not going to roll away from you, push away from you, okay? Stand in front of the chair facing the seat. So we're going to do some sun salutations today. Traditionally, it's 1/2 of the breath per movement, but you do not ever have to go that quickly, okay? I'm going to stand in Tadasana first. So Tadasana, if I face you, I'll show you. Feet are hips width apart or a little wider. Outer edges of the feet are parallel. You can go up on your toes, or you can rest back on your heels for a few rocking back and forth there. And then find the stance where the knees straighten, but not so much that you're squeezing your thigh muscles on the front. You want to move the thigh bones back behind you. We want to take the thigh bones and move them back behind us so that we keep this curve in our lower back, and we straighten the knees as much as is comfortable. Then just like we practiced before, fingertips on the front of the shoulders, move the front of the shoulders, widen them back a little bit, and move those shoulder joints over those hip joints. You'll feel the weight go right down through the heels of your feet. Chin is parallel to the ground, reaching up through the tops of the ears. Tadasana, or mountain pose. Stay here for a few breaths. Notice what's working. Notice what muscles you feel helping you balance here. Maybe even close the eyes. Notice what happens. So you're in Tadasana, facing the chair. Go ahead and open the eyes. Here we go. And again, you don't have to lift your arms up as high. You can modify this to work for you. You're going to inhale the hands up. Exhale the hands down to heart center in this beautiful Tadasana position. This time we're going to inhale up. And we're going to exhale as we bend or hinge at the hip to place our fingers on the chair. Now, depending on the chair that you've chosen, you may be able to put the flat of your hand here without hunching your back, with your back nice and neutral, or you may be on your fingertips. It depends on the chair that you've chosen, okay? So this is our first forward bend. We can even widen our feet a little further apart because it's going to feel a little more comfortable. Inhale, come way up on the fingertips, keeping the spine neutral. Exhale, come back down on the palms. You may even bend a little bit more. And again, inhale up. And exhale. And inhale up. And exhale. From this forward bend now, hands on the chair, we're going to step one foot back to a lunge position. So step your right foot back. Does it have to be a big lunge? No. Step the right foot back a few feet and come up on the right toes, or if you need to put the foot down for balance, you can turn the right toes out just a little bit. Okay? So it's up to you whether you're lunging on the ball of the foot or you have the foot flat on the floor. Your feet are not on a tightrope. They're still hips width apart. So this is where we do our lunging, right? Come up on the fingertips. Inhale here. Exhale. Bend the front knee as you reach back through the back leg. So without the front knee going way into the chair, you can stretch that back leg back a little further. Keeping the palms or the fingertips on the chair, so you get a little bend in the front knee, doesn't go past the toes, and you're reaching out through the calf of the back leg. Some folks who are familiar with yoga or who have their back foot on the floor can walk the hands up to a high lunge here, knowing the chair is right there if they need it, and inhale their arms up, and exhale, hold, lifting the sternum, lifting the heart, a little bit of back bend here. Good job, good job. Inhale here, exhale. Hands back on the seat of the chair. Now what we're going to do is we're going to step the front foot back to the back foot for a version of downward facing dog. So plant your back foot back down, step the front foot back to it. You can widen your feet apart. You can be on your balls of your feet if your heels are lifted. But what I'm going to ask you to do, and bend the knees as needed, is press your heels down, reach your tailbone up, and sit your butt cheeks on a wall behind you, imaginary wall behind you. So the arms can straighten, you can press down and forward to the seat of the chair. You're going to feel a big stretch here in the calves. Belly's engaged up and in just a bit. Knees are bent as you need them to be, lifting up the tailbone, lengthening out through the spine, through the fingertips. Your head stays between your shoulders. Great job. Now what we're going to do is we're going to step the opposite foot forward. So before my left foot was forward, now I'm going to step my right foot forward, getting ready for that lunge position here, right? And I'm going to take the little back leg back a little bit, and maybe I'll be up on my toes for this lunge, or maybe I'll put my heel on the floor with my foot at a 40-degree angle, but I'm going to bend the front knee a bit, come up on my fingertips if that feels comfortable, nice strong back. If you like, you can come into this tall position and reach up. Breathe here, inhale and exhale. If you're in this lunge position, your hips are just dropping down between your legs. So don't worry about all the work in the front leg. Think of both legs. Reach up through the sternum. Inhale here. Exhale, hinge back. So now we're going to step up to our forward bend again. So we want our front foot not to be too close to the chair, okay? Then when you're ready, step the back foot up to the front foot. Again, they can be hips width or wider. Come up on the fingertips, inhale here, exhale, come on down. So maybe in your forward bend, you can place your forearms on the chair. I mean, everyone's a little different. So decide what works for you. Just a few minutes in the forward bend. And it's okay if the knees are bent. You're just lifting the tailbone up. Let that low belly kind of tuck itself up into your pelvis. You feel where you feel the stretching across your QL, your quadratus lumborum, when you kind of hug in the low belly just a bit. And then place the fingertips or hands back on the chair. Beautiful. So we did add in the plank pose. That's a little bit more challenging. Okay? So let's try that now, if you so desire. If not, you can do the downward facing dog again. So what we're going to do is we're going to step back to the downward facing dog, right foot and left foot. Stepping back, pressing out through. Beautiful. So you want to have some good strength here, okay? So pressing out through the fingertips, a little bend in the knees, tailbone is lifted. I'd like you to hug the right and left rib cage, sides of the rib cage, the right and left sides of the rib cage towards each other a bit to engage your stabilizing muscles. And then on an inhale, come on forward, bringing the shoulders over. Oh, knees are straight as feels comfortable. Hug in the right and left sides of the rib cage. This is our modified plank pose. Inhale and exhale back. If you're feeling any too much work here in the wrists, what you can do, there's a couple things you can do. You can just come a little bit forward. You don't have to come all the way forward. You can think of putting the work into the base of the fingers instead of the heel of the palm. You'll find this may help you a little bit with the wrists, okay, to line everything up a little bit better for your plank pose. Inhale here and exhale back. And maybe if you want, you can do one more plank pose. Inhale here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And when you're ready, exhale back. Enjoy the downward facing dog. And then gently walk the feet forward. So now you can do a forward bend. So you can relax down. It may be on your hands, you may be on your fingertips here, or you may be able to come down the forearms. Understand that when you do any type of forward bend, the lower the torso goes, the rounder the spine becomes, and that's just the way that we're made. So if you're down on your forearms, go ahead, tuck that low belly up and into the pelvis, relax the head down, enjoy the forward bend without any work or any pressure, just gravity and the shape of your body. Walk the hands back into the chair, come back on the fingertips. Keep a little bend in the knees. We're going to unhinge at the hips, pressing our chest in towards our back. Come on up, inhale up, and exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful job. So now we're going to take a seat in a chair again. We're towards the end of the practice here, but I'd like to do a hip stretch. I love hip stretches. They're very important for the health of our spine in particular. People don't realize that. They think, you know, hips, and knees, of course, ankles, but the health of your spine is dependent upon your hips as well, because you know that the spine, the sacrum, wedges right down the keystone of the pelvis. So it's very important how healthy the hips are. If you widen your legs apart, so you're sitting more towards the front of the seat, so you can widen the legs, toes and knees point the same direction. I'm sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to hinge from the hip, one hand on each leg, both elbows bent. I'm going to straighten the right elbow to turn my heart to the left. Beautiful. So I'm giving a little bit of a twist here. You can see it. Look at me. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turning to the right, straightening the left elbow. Now, some people prefer to do this stretch, and back to the front, hinging a little further. As long as your back stays neutral and flat, that's fine. We don't want to do any type of turning or twisting with a hunched spine, okay? So as long as your back is long and flat, you can hinge a little bit more with this one, or you can stay more upright. Once again, turning to the left, we're going to straighten the right elbow, not to push against the thigh or the knee. Breathe, breathe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turning to the right, straightening the left elbow. You can draw that belly in. And let's do it one more time on each side, okay? Breathe. Each exhalation helps you kind of stretch those areas out. And exhale. So this is that lower back area, inner thighs, inner part of the hips, back to center. Great job. Just walk those feet in. So outer hip stretching normally requires you to cross a leg, okay? And for some of us, that's challenging. Sit in your chair where you're not all the way to the back, you're halfway or a quarter of the way, depending on the size of the chair. I'm going to ask you to bring the right knee in towards your chest. Kind of circle your ankle one direction and the other. Yay! And then you're going to gently cross that leg over, or you're going to make this number 4 position here. So if this does not work for you at all, you can most definitely cross the front, back of the front ankle and heel across the opposite leg and widen this knee out to the side as much as you can, okay? So that's your option if you can't cross your legs or bring your foot up, okay? You're going to feel some stretching going on here. That's the whole point, okay? So whichever position you've chosen. If you are crossing a leg or crossing at the, at the ankle, flex the foot so that it stays nice and strong. We don't want, a yogi once said, you don't want your foot to be a dead fish at the end of your ankle. So a little bit of activity in the foot. Sit up nice and tall. As you press down through the sit bones up to the crown of the head, you're going to feel the stretch going on in that hip. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. You can add a little chest stretch if you want. Inhale the arms up if you like, really sitting down into your sit bones. And then as you exhale, you can add a bit of a forward bend, but again, not if it feels uncomfortable for the back. We want to hinge without rounding, so I don't expect anyone to get their chest even close to their shin, okay? It's just to kind of advance the feeling of the stretch. You want a nice neutral spine as you hinge. It's a great stretch. And then come on up and release. Good job. So now we're going to bring the other leg in. We're going to circle the ankle one direction and the other. Yay! Snap, crackle, pop. And then you have the option to cross the back of the heel and ankle over the opposite front of the ankle, widening this knee out to the side to get some stretching here. Or you can cross the legs, or you can make a number 4 position. Again, the foot should be flexed and strong. Sit down through the sit bones, reach up through the tops of the ears. You're gonna, with just the minute you sit up, you're gonna feel this. So try not to sickle this ankle. Don't let the ankle bend so the bottom of your foot starts to point towards the ceiling. Keep it nice and flat so you can protect. We want to keep these joints aligned. If the hip is tight, it can skew the tracking of the knee joint, the ankle joint. We want to keep everything safe while we do this. So even if you have an ankle closer to the floor when you do this cross position, it's okay. Let's inhale up. Nice reach up with this, feels good. Sit bones press down. And you can stay here, or you can bring the arms down, or if you like, you can give yourself that gentle hinge, but you may feel that you're going to have some resistance from that hip, and that's okay. Keep this foot bright. Just a little hinge, just a 1/4 inch hinge. If it feels okay, the stretch feels okay, your knee feels fine. That's cool. Advance in small increments. Listen to your body. I used to say in teaching live classes, you know, be kind to your body, because this body that you walked in with, you got to take back out the door with you. So you definitely want to be kind to this body. You got to spend a lot more time with it. When you're ready, come on up and release. Woo, so that you feel good. Awesome. You can sit a little bit further back in the chair, but not all the way back. Press down through the sit bones. I move the flesh of my buttocks back out. I kind of lift it and pull it back out, straight back behind me. Feet flat on the floor, wherever they feel comfortable right now. Just going to roll the shoulders. Nice. Relax down. Let the shoulder blades kind of relax and slide down the back. So now you can really feel with a wider chest that your shoulders are lined up over your hip joints, right? Relax the hands. Reach up through the tops of the ears. This is going to bring your chin down to parallel. And then close your eyes, come back to your breath. Feel the body sitting and those sensations of sitting. Feel the body breathing and those sensations of breathing. Open the eyes gently. Inhale here, exhale one ear to one shoulder. Just use the weight of your head. It's not a pull. And then inhale back up and exhale to the other side. Just because it feels good. You can do it again a couple times. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale up, exhale, look over your shoulder, chin parallel. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over the other shoulder. Inhale back to center one more time. Inhale and exhale. And then back to the center position. Take a nice big inhale, lifting up, lifting up, lifting up through the palms. Exhale, bringing the hands together at heart center. The word namaste, strictly translated, means to bow. And we bow at the end of class to show honor for each other. I honor the divine teachers and warriors within all of you. May we all find peace, no matter what we are given. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me today. Again, my name is Julie, and I'll see you next week. Have a great week.